Hello all, we would like to welcome you to Brown Girl Banter. I am Dr. Patience.
And I'm Dr. Dangerfield.
We are so excited about this opportunity to bring our roundtable, text message, phone call conversations here to the public. Me and Lucretia really have been having these conversations that you're going to be hearing about for years. And we have been discussing them over coffee, over breakfast, over lunch, over cocktails. Exactly. We've just really been having these discussions. And at some point we decided that it was time to take these intimate conversations, these intimate, discussions, and bring them out there for other people to hear and experience. We realized we weren't alone in how we were feeling, right?
Right.
Because it was either coming up in the news, on social media.
All right, amongst other friends.
Yes.
And I think the funnier thing is like especially when we started Bay, which is our book club.
Yes.
And that just sitting around listening to the other women that share the space with us, that these conversations would just come up. And we're like, we were just talking about
Exactly. That is definitely how it went. And so after kind of months of that, maybe even years of that, we decided, okay, we need to put this information out there amongst the community so people can start hearing it and hopefully having their own dialogue with one another as well. That's kind of what we want to come from this. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So before we get started with all of the Brown Girl banter that we have, and trust us, we have plenty, we wanted to give the opportunity to just kind of introduce ourselves to you all, let you know who we are and how we know each other, and why this is so important to us, and kind of is us speaking from our hearts. So I'm gonna let Dr. Dangerfield go first and kind of tell a little bit about herself.
Okay, I am Dr. Lucretia Dangerfield, and I am a counselor plus consultant plus coach, just someone that just really likes to sit in a place with other women to help them heal from their own childhood wounds, and being able to do that work with not only women but also my work with counselors, because I enjoy really working with counselors of color, helping them to stand up and be seen in our communities, because I realize that we don't have a space.
True.
A lot of times. So being able to be a support to create that space. So as a counselor, consultant, coach, that's who Dr. Lucretia is. I'm a native Nashvilleian. I have lived in Alabama, but just being able to kind of show up and be me from a counseling perspective, but also like spent many years in the business arena, which how I'm able to tie all that I do, because I was in a business field working in finance and retail marketing, that I had this epiphany one day. It's like, what am I supposed to really be doing in real life when I grow up? And so that's what led me to the counseling field. And so I own my own private practice here in Nashville and do some work online in the online space.
Awesome. She's fabulous. You will get to know her and love her just the way I do. So a little bit about me. I am actually a native Detroiter. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. We have now lived in Nashville for 10 years. I say we because I'm married and have two little ones, a 5 and a 1-year-old, that keep me very busy. I am a licensed professional counselor with a lot of experience, mostly in addiction. That has kind of been my passion. I love the field of addiction. I love the stories. I love being in that intimate space. I love the overcoming that happens in addiction and recovery. So that's really my niche, but I've worked with people from every spectrum with all types of concerns and issues. And like Lucretia, that ability to just be present with someone and to help them through the journey of this thing we call life is just so rewarding and validating, and it's so beautiful to watch. And so like Lucretia, I was doing something totally different. I had got my degree in I was going to be a publicist. Hello. That was my calling. And God said not so. And so really I kind of started researching the field of counseling and really nothing else. It literally was just the field of counseling. And it's like I heard it in a still small voice, like, that is what you're supposed to be doing. And I haven't looked back since then. And I don't regret that at all. It's just been an amazing experience. Like Lucretia, we both have this experience of working with students in the counseling profession, or who are pursuing their degree in the counseling profession. We both have worked in supervision with students, and also being supervisors, so the managing of people. And I think our background in counseling is very valuable in that.
In all of that.
And so that's kind of where we developed this kindred spirit and niche from. Like, one day, Lucretia and I were going through the same doc program, and we kind of just started having these conversations about leadership, about being women of color. We
in those spaces,
definitely, and talked about training professional counselors and what that experience is like, because we do not take that lightly. And I think at that moment we were like, oh, we were meant to meet each other.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And so we have not looked back since then. I mean, literally.
From probably the time that you probably called me and said, I need your hours.
Yes.
Can you send me your internship and practicum hours, because we need to get this done.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And so from that point on, we have not looked back. We have been friends.
Yes.
From that point on.
From that point on. And so we are just excited that we can take this thing that we've nurtured and, you know, really cultivated together and bring that to you. And so we really felt like Brown Girl Banter was the best way to describe it.
Yes, because it describes how we come up with our conversations. Because it's just really conversations we have with each other. And it's like, and it usually is around the space of women of color.
Yes.
So it's like, what's happening with women of color in the news? What's happening with us on social media? So we're like, okay, did you see that?
Yes.
Or I'll get a message in my inbox. Read this article.
Yes.
We need to talk about this. So, or I'll send her something. So just those different things. So even with this season that you will have the opportunity to spend with us, we're going to talk about some things like I'm Not My Hair, or hair and microaggression in corporate America. Those things, formation. We can't wait for you to hear about that, because about that whole code switching.
Yes.
So how does it look for us, and what do we have to go through? Some of the other things that we probably will talk about is really other people's perception of Black women.
Definitely. I mean, how can we not?
Yes, and how they how it works for them and how it works for us.
Yes.
The HBCU versus the PWI experience, because I went to a predominantly white institution, and
I went to HBCU, and I think we found some, things that are similar and some things that are vastly different. And just kind of, does that still look the same here in 2019 as it did back when we're not going to tell you when, but when we were pursuing our undergrad degrees, like, does that still look the same? And I mean, really definitely talking about the leaning in process, the Me Too movement. I mean, we go political to,
to spiritual,
to just classic celebrity entertainment. I mean, we really touch on everything. And we really hope that you feel connected to the conversations that we're having, because we are definitely strongly connected to them. So we are just so excited, because we not only want to impact our generation, but we want to impact the generation after us, the generation before us. This is definitely something that's just not for one group of people. It is for everyone. And we are excited about it. We're excited that you are choosing to be a part of this with us. So come along for the journey, come along for the ride, come along for the conversations, all the things, leave comments, all the things, because we definitely want you to be another person in the room with us having these discussions. So it is our pleasure to introduce to you Brown Girl Banter. We look forward to seeing you during our next episode, and welcome. And we appreciate you. You all have an awesome day.
Yes. Thanks.
Thanks.